Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to my 31 Days of Horror in October, day 27. Now, today we're going to be talking about Antibirth. But before I get into my review, I wanted to say a big thank you to Hobbs for sending me this because we did a trade. I've really been looking forward to watching this, and yeah, thank you, Hobbs. Antibirth is a 2016 film which runs approximately 94 minutes and is written and directed by Danny Perez. Now, he was responsible for Oddsac and some TV. Now, this stars Natasha Lyonne as Lou. She was in the American Pie franchise, Slums of Beverly Hills, which is a great film, and But I'm a Cheerleader, which is also a really good film. Chloe, I always mess up her name. Chloe Sevigny as Sadie. She was in Boys Don't Cry, Hashtag Horror, and The Dead Don't Die. And Meg Tilly as Cora. She was in Psycho 2, The Big Chill, and Body Snatchers. Now, this movie had a budget of $3.5 million. And here is basically your story. Natasha Lyonne plays a girl named Lou, who, of course, her best friend is Sadie. And she's always partying. She kind of lives in a dump. She doesn't have really any money, or, she lives paycheck to paycheck, like I guess a lot of people do. But, I mean, she's always partying, always smoking, doesn't take care of herself. Just when you party too much and you kind of don't know where you end up, that's kind of her life in a nutshell. She goes to a party thrown by a local drug dealer and a few of his friends and gets led into the back. And the next day she wakes up pregnant. And in the following days, she gets really pregnant really quick. Kind of like a movie I reviewed in the beginning of 31 Days, which is Snatchers. This movie is similar in some ways. Now, they, of course, have blended a special type of drug who, of course, you're assuming is responsible for this pregnancy or has something to do with something that's going on. Meanwhile, she doesn't want to be pregnant and is not getting rid of it, but continues to smoke, drink, do drugs, and everything else under the sun. So, as much as I do like Natasha Lyonne, I've liked her in just about everything I've seen her in. She wasn't very likable in this movie. Her best friend, Sadie, Chloe, and I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name again. She's a little bit more likable, but she actually has something to do with why she's pregnant. And when she actually gives birth is kind of when the horror comes in. Even though, to be honest, her life is just horror in general. So, yeah, that was the problem with this film. There wasn't really many likable characters in it. And it gives you no one to root for. That's, I guess, my major problem with this film. Now, I gave this one a 7, and that is 7 smashed pumpkins. I recommend it as a watch. I don't think I would recommend spending the money to buy it. I'm glad I own it because I do like Scream Factory as a company. Here's the reversible artwork, which is pretty cool. And it's an interesting film. Eventually, I plan on rewatching it. Maybe I'll get something more out of it next time. But it's just, the characters were just so slimy. It was kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen Bliss, directed by John Begos. But it's kind of like the people in Bliss. They're just kind of slimy, scuzzy people, even though I love Bliss. This one was just a little harder for me to get into, but I did like it though. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.